No, I haven't. I don't mind notifications.
Yay, now we are live. Here, Get a Grip, live with several guests, and I hear myself also in my earphone here, so I'm sorry about that. We have with us, first of all, Gabriel. Gabriel, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. This is an exciting episode, or just a bunch of hot air. We'll find out.
We're gonna discover very soon. And with us, we also have Ian Anderson, and he is right now in San Francisco. How are you, Ian?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing well. This is good. It's fun here in San Francisco. It's cold and smoky because there's nearby fires. But it's exciting to be on the wrong side of the planet for a change to talk about Final Cut with fun people.
Awesome. And with us, we also have Sam.
Hello, I'm doing very well, thank you. No cam from me today, but I'm sure my voice will be enough to, show my excitement for what we're going to be talking about today.
Well, that's awesome. Well, and talking about excitement, we are excited for two things. One is the Creative Summit that is just starting tomorrow in Cupertino, and that's why Ian Anderson, all the way from Australia, is there in California. Ian, you also have Lee there with you, right?
Yeah, so Lee and I ended up on the same plane. This is Lee Herbert, F1. We're both Apple certified trainers. I'm from Brisbane, he's from Melbourne. Lee also makes films, dances, and wears Star Wars t-shirts, apparently.
There we go.
So there's Lee. And we'll both be speaking at the Creative Summit this weekend, talking about lots of different things. Sorry about that earphone flick, everyone. It's always fun. The Creative Summit is a really good place to get together and meet lots of like-minded people and hang out with the people you've seen in your tutorials and stuff on YouTube and online, and hear from people doing super exciting things with Final Cut and see what's new and get to visit Apple. All fun stuff.
And
it is good.
Can you tell us a little bit of what you're going to be presenting at the Creative Summit?
Yes, so my two talks, I got one on Saturday and one on Sunday. One is on motion. I'm talking all about behaviors, so a quick kind of practical thing, explaining first off why to start with keyframes, then what keyframes are bad at, and then moving through all the different kinds of behaviors, lots of nice interactive stuff there. Mm-hmm. And the other session is building it smart for social media, so how to shoot when you're planning to crop things to widescreen and portrait from the same source, all the different ways you might want to edit things together, why you shouldn't shoot it twice, why vertical video is not necessarily the devil.
Here we go.
I know, it can be okay, and we're mostly GH5 owners here, so why you should know the GH5's anamorphic mode if you're going to be shooting for portrait and landscape. It's a killer.
You just drove another nail into our coffin, because
Sorry, guys, coincidence cancelled now, Joe.
Yeah, well, by sheer coincidence, we all shoot GH5s, and we've gotten a lot of grief because we're like the GH5 show. It's just coincidence, that wasn't planned. Sorry. It's just a capable camera.
Well, yeah, I do have a GH5 here. Here's my entire camera kit. This tiny
and what lens you have there with you?
I have lots of lenses here. I don't think they're all here, but what have I got? Trans on 40, wide 7-14, and primes at 15, 25, and 42.5.
Very nice, very nice.
So that just kind of covers most things. If you shoot Sony or something, hi Lee, then he has much heavier, more expensive lenses and a back problem. And
there we go.
I lift. But he does have slightly more dynamic range and slightly better in low light. So look, there's a trade-off. All cameras are nice. We can all be friends. Yes. We can all get along. It's fine. It's fine. Exposure. And he keeps giving me shit because I keep overexposing sometimes. No, I don't keep overexposing. There's just one shoot where it's like necessarily slightly overexposed.
I can hear the back pedals already.
And Sam, are you refreshing your app store every 5 minutes?
You know what? You know me too well, Philippe. I may or may not be doing that in the background. How did you know? Did you how did you clock onto that? That's crazy.
I have been trying to refresh my app store here for the past 2 hours or so. I'm like, just in case, I want to be able to catch, just in case it happens.
Just in case it happens. I've got it open.
Well, what time do they normally release stuff? If it
10
was
a.m.
For me, it'd be 6 a.m. Well, actually,
10 a.m. Pacific time is normally the window for big updates.
that is
OS
15
updates.
minutes away. So if we're still chatting in 15 minutes, then it would be safe to hit update and see what might happen. But look, this is a problem. I mean, if you happen, like there was, I think I can say that, you know, I signed an NDA to go on a call where various details were released, and the call happened to be scheduled while I was on a plane. And it being a call, like it's pretty difficult to actually join said call, even if you've got in-flight Wi-Fi. So word to the wise, if you ever end up on a plane and you need to join a phone call, you might want to look at something that can call from like a Wi-Fi account to a regular number like Skype, and then you might find that Skype is blocked on in-flight Wi-Fi for kind of obvious reasons. So if you need to do this, Skype via web turns out to not be fully blocked.
Oh, there we go.
So it is actually theoretically just about maybe possible to get online. Now, I didn't manage to do that, so I haven't got any kind of direct information, and if I had, I obviously couldn't share it anyway. So, yes. Anything I know is indirect, and if we get anywhere near it, I'll just not confirm nor deny anything.
Well, I absolutely know nothing.
I know nothing.
I just don't know anything.
I see nothing, I know nothing. But,
was it a month ago? A month ago, I got an email from, maybe it was 3-4 weeks ago, an email from Frame.io saying that they have some big announcement coming up. I have no idea what it'll be or when, but I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. I'm keen.
Yeah, I think they're announcing tomorrow. They've got something
tomorrow.
Keynote.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, okay.
So the schedule for the summit has all the big announcements and the Apple stuff happening tomorrow. So the keynote with iJustine, announcements from all the sponsors, including Frame.io, and Call Mountain Intelligent Assistants, and I'm sure there are others. And then the visiting Apple stuff, the private Apple session, and then it's the talks on Saturday, Sunday. So all the news will be out. Look, who knows? If they do an update, it might be today, it might be tomorrow, but all the official stuff, I guess, will come out tomorrow, unless they release stuff under NDA, in which case...
Well, it's even possible that we are not going to even see the actual update, right? It might be just an announcement or teaser, or one of those things that is like they show to people at the Creative Summit and they say, oh, you can share it on the social media.
Well, that's what happened. Yeah. So Ian and I were at the summit last year, and we got to see it, and as well as the iMac Pros a good 2 months before it was actually released. But the year before, Final Cut 10 update dropped while everybody was in flight on the way.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping happens this year, since I'm not at the summit.
Yeah. Well, there is stuff we do know because it's been publicly released, because people have been digging around in iMovie, because iMovie is and Final Cut share a code base. So whenever they release iMovie, which happened last week,
a week from today.
So everyone's favorite quiet hackers, so Alex Gollner and Chris Hocking, have both been poking around. And I mean, if you're a developer, then you can just use the free tools. You get the old version, you get the new version, you run a diff, you see what's changed, and then you can pick up on the new names and the new icons, and you can see what's. And Chris thinks there's stuff that he's posted. It's been on the Frame.io blog now, so this isn't even super private. He's posted. He thinks that there is potentially batch exporting.
Oh,
potentially. That would be nice.
That'll be excellent.
Potential noise reduction.
Hey Felipe, can I interject quickly? We've got a comment that says, "Could the audio be any worse?" Are we having an issue with our audio?
Checking here right now. I have like a lot of audios going on.
I can make it worse for you if you really want me to. Let me get me some pots and pans. Hold on.
It would be good to know exactly whose audio is bad.
Yeah, not very specific.
It would be me, because I mean, I'm on a pair of iPhone headphones on a really dodgy, bad hotel Wi-Fi connection. Well, so I am sorry.
Well,
this is the best I can offer today.
Yeah, the first thing that it's good to know here, we're using a couple of technologies here that are let's say, newish. So for us to go from Skype to, let me put my video there. For us to go from Skype into Wirecast, we're using NDI, which is supported within Skype. Basically, Wirecast sees each participant as a separate source of video.
That's good.
And we can add that as a camera on Wirecast. Now, the audio can be coming on several different ways there. Now, hey Gabe, can you check our YouTube and just see there how our quality is coming through? I might be a little bit too loud here. I'm just dropping a little bit. Okay, let's try this. Ian, I'm not gonna ask you. Hold on, I can hear myself through someone's speaker. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I'm not gonna ask Ian because Ian, you have the NDA. Let me ask Sam. If you would speculate what is coming, what would you say?
Give me 2 seconds to squirrel everything there. Speculation.
Audio's fine.
Yeah, the audio's fine. Apparently, I was had to listen to it as well. Well, Ian's kind of set me up now for this batch export. I would love batch exporting. I really would, simply because the alignment work that I do, I'm doing multiple things a day. I'm either doing for the Yogscast, the content that I cut is for a channel where there's a massive social platform to it as well. So there's Twitter and Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, sorry, the main two sources where posts get published. So I need a full timeline with the main edit and then an Instagram quick highlights cut to go up as well. So getting those two things out, it's been quite easy so far. It's just I've been using Frame.io's export feature, and I've been using that. But having a batch export function would be fantastic. It would limit the amount of time I would have to spend on everything.
Okay,
That's true.
and actually, can I just ask you briefly, Sam, what aspect ratio are you exporting your stuff in for Twitter and Instagram? What do you prefer? What are you doing?
I'm just doing 1080 by 1080. I'm just using a square ratio format. That's what they've been asking for, so that's kind of what I've been giving them. But I know you can do, is it widescreen stuff you can put on Instagram now, I think, but doesn't it, I thought with the widescreen stuff it did put like a bar across the top and bottom, is that right? So am I completely...
Well, every platform will do something a little bit different, but yeah. I'm just curious what they're asking for, because Square is that kind of compromise. Nobody loves it, nobody hates it. So, and it's not too hard to frame for. So no, that's cool. Let's continue on.
It's not vertical video just yet. It's not vertical video just yet. But
don't be too down on it.
I'm not.
Okay.
I did a lot of vertical video for the events.
It's all right. That's fine. That's fine.
There's a lot of overlapping. I had to do a lot of vertical video for the events that we used to run, that we ran back in March. Oh, what was it, March? Yes, March. So I did a lot of vertical video there, and it does work really well for displays and for advertisements and stuff. That's kind of where they used it. But mainly for their online stuff, it's just 16:9 and 1:1 ratio. But for 10.5 or whatever the next version number is going to be, there is another comment. I've actually got chat open as well as another comment saying it won't be 10.5 or something silly.
No, but honestly, I feel like it's just going to be 10.44 today. But we weren't sure, so this thumbnail is either going to be really accurate or super clickbaity. But that's what we had to work with at the time.
Well, we've had a dot one or a point update every year consistently for the past 3 years around this time. So we made an assumption, so you know what I mean, to kind of think it is going to be 10.5. If it is going to be 10.5, it's 10.4.4. But honestly, I don't know what else I would actually like in the new update. Noise reduction would be nice, but I'm not working with a lot of mix. The only thing what I'm working with is a lot of gameplay material, so a lot of that you don't need to denoise. It would have been useful back in March when I was doing event stuff that was a bit noisy, a bit grainy. I could have thrown it on there. But at the minute, it's not something that's in my workflow. So batch exporting would be nice. And that's really, at the moment, that's kind of where I'm at, in all honesty. Maybe some more integration with Motion, and maybe seeing something where I can get better integration between maybe like a cloud cloud way of sharing motion templates really easy. That I can put it on I can point my motion templates for a particular library to a Dropbox or a Google Drive or something. That way, then I can just sync it between the same library, and I don't have to worry about it, or just I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm particularly unsure about at the moment because it's been.
Yeah, Felipe, the people are, especially this one guy, the Schnizify, he's not very happy with our audio.
Yes. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I can understand how frustrating it can be. It's definitely frustrating on this side here that
I'm sure
the audio that we are getting through Skype is just perfect. The audio that is coming through the monitoring on Wirecast is perfect, but then is just not hitting YouTube the way that it's sounding on the monitoring locally and everywhere else. Actually, not sure where that could be.
No,
I played it on YouTube and it sounded fine to me, so I don't know what the deal is.
Is he listening on a phone? That could potentially be the issue if he's got speakers or.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently, my microphone itself is sounding all good. And first of all, let me thank to everyone that's connected there. There's 14 people connected and watching us blab around here, just literally waiting until the time comes for us to check if there is any update. But basically, one question: is everyone editing with Final Cut that's watching there? So you guys can leave your comment just at Get a Grip, so I can see that you guys are talking to us and not between yourselves. And again, apologies for the sound. We're this is definitely quite something.
Yeah, teething problems, people. It happens with all this stuff.
All right, last year at the summit, we were about to watch a preview of Bradley Olson's documentary Off the Tracks, and as the screen was lighting up, one of the members of the Pro Apps team asked me what I would like to see in the next update. And I had about 2 seconds to answer before I ran over to watch the documentary, which was awesome, by the way. And I just said keyframes, and then I walked away and started watching the movie.
So
you know
what? Yeah, I agree.
That's something I would love to see because as much as I love Final Cut 10, keyframing is abysmal. It's not good.
Better animation controls. Yeah, I think that would be a set of thing.
Yeah, it was one of the really nice things about the summit last year was that. I know a lot of people got asked, what are your top 5 features that you'd like to see in Final Cut? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it obviously breaks no NDAs to say what I wanted to see a year ago. And I think I said, look, a proper audio mixer would be great.
Yep.
Collaboration would be great. So I tend to work solo. Obviously, a lot of people collaborate. And for people in, more seriously higher up in the industry, they need much more collaboration stuff. That's why so many people stay with Avid, because they've got large groups of people all cutting the same stuff at the same time. And yeah, you can do that with Final Cut, but your workflows are more limited and the support isn't official and built in. So, I'd love to see more stuff done like that. Obviously, that's a much bigger feature, and they need to do it right. And they're going to, I'm sure, if and when they hopefully add that at some point, it'll happen. If they do it, they'll do it right. So, but we'll see. It depends what Apple want to do, and what I'd like to see more openness, because Adobe chat about their new features a whole lot, and the Logic Pro thing put change lists this long, and we don't see that about Final.
We did get that last summit though.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say we did get that last summit. We did. You guys got an open invitation to see the next version. Was it like 2 months before it was out? And I feel like they're taking baby steps to that. I feel like they're going to be a point where they will be more actively and encouragingly open with the things they are going to be putting into the application, and maybe giving us a roadmap. But at the end of the day, I kind of like being surprised of what's new. I don't want to get. It's like opening a present on Christmas morning and not knowing what it is. There is that subtle, going, oh, they've added that and I didn't ask for it kind of thing. Whereas if I see something beforehand, I kind of like, I don't know, I guess I start overthinking about, oh, is it going to do that? Is it going to do this? Is it going to be the way I want it to be?
Sam, is that any different than knowing too much about the next Star Wars movie before it comes out?
Kind of. I imagine that would be very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. It absolutely goes both ways. You can't you can't be. I like the surprise as well, but at the same time, a lot of people really don't like surprises. A lot of people like to be able to plan out a few years. And if you're running,
Yeah, I mean, cough, Final
yeah.
Fantasy 7, cough. That was a big surprise to people.
And Adobe do like release a what's coming soon, but a lot of those features never actually make it into the final product. Like they showed a magic audio manufacturing thing where if you have 20 minutes of somebody talking, then you can basically make them say whatever you like. And that has never made it into a shipping product. That was demoed a few years ago, and it hasn't made it. So, Adobe do pretty out stuff, but generally they're pretty cagey about the stuff that's definitely in the next version.
Gotcha.
But they do give you a few months advance notice, which is appreciated, I guess.
I suppose if you are in a bigger company house, you're in a bigger workflow situation where you need to know, so you can plan accordingly for maybe future projects or for future, I'll refer back to what Apple did with Final Cut 7. That really it cut people off, in terms of with the businesses and post production. That's to find alternatives, and I think having that pre-established communication there to kind of go, this is what's coming, this is what we're planning for the next 1 or 2 updates, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's probably appreciated by more bigger houses. I feel like us guys, when I say us guys, like solo shooters and things like that, people that work primarily on their own, we can handle big changes like that because we're not employing, a couple of 100 people per month or whatever. So having that kind of prerequisite and that forward knowledge to kind of go, okay, well, this is what's coming. We need to think about something else, or we need to change our minds. But for us solo guys, I feel like it's okay, that's changed. Right, let's go to it. I mean, the option if Final Cut tomorrow disappeared, we're no shortage of options really. There's Resolve and there's Premiere and all that, and regrettably added. But we can, we have those options.
What? Just got an well, never mind. Wait.
Is it anything?
Oh,
somewhere?
New press release email. Final Cut Pro 10 introduces third-party workflow extensions.
Oh,
Did you get it already?
I just got it. The email. I didn't. Nothing in the App Store yet.
Here we go. Final Cut is coming out.
I've searched Apple Press and it comes with a simple DIY Apple Press to make cider. That's not what I'm after.
No,
Okay,
Sam.
so 10 a.m. Pacific.
I completely hear what you were saying, Sam, about being a small shop you can update, and I've always updated in the past immediately and never had an issue, but I've got enormous projects right now, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys to download and install, and let me know how it goes.
10.4.4 is out,
I'll
apparently.
definitely be installing.
There's been an update out, apparently. I can't
Really?
see it. Does it require Mojave? I don't have that yet.
4.4?
That's one thing I was going to actually say.
4.5?
Would it require Mojave? Because I don't have Mojave installed.
I have Mojave installed.
So 10.4. Okay, so hold on. I will update our thumbnail.
Then a quick little look.
Good, yeah, I did create a 10.44 thumbnail, just in case.
Okay.
See, I'm
Let's
not seeing
choose
any
the thumbnail.
updates in my App Store yet,
Yeah.
which is
Nothing
super
in my App Store
disappointing
either.
because obviously I'm going to need. FCP.co has a post up.
Let's have a look.
So that would probably be
the Apple
the best
Newsroom. It's not. I can't
Okay.
see the post of Final Cut 10 on the Apple Newsroom.
Okay, I don't have anything here yet.
I'm on I'm on the FCP.co.
And the guys in the chat are confirming that it's.
Oh, it will
actually
run.
now.
It will run a High Sierra as well. Okay. New Final
This is
Cut workflow
good,
extensions
yes.
extend the capabilities of Final Cut Pro with third-party extensions that open directly within the app interface. So that's probably what Frame.io is probably going to take advantage of. I'm going to assume.
There's an article right below that, Sam, about the Frame.io release.
I haven't.
Oh my
okay.
god, I don't see anything. I haven't received anything yet.
Sure. Oh yeah,
No,
the stock Frame.io.
Felipe, this is FCP.co.
Ah, okay.
Workflow comparison viewer. Open
I
the
can't
comparison
check-
viewer to
oh,
reference
there it is.
other frames. Oh, it's a color grading. Basically.
Yay!
There we go.
That is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that would make you
Share.
happy, Ian.
Back
Okay,
share
okay.
is
Ooh,
here, guys. Finally. Sorry.
Video
Say that
noise
again.
reduction plugin.
Yep, I saw
Or
that.
Hey,
not
this was
plugin,
right.
native.
SRT caption support for Facebook. Burning caption
That's good.
support. Timecode
that's good.
window, view project and source timecode in one or more floating customizable timecode windows. Very nice. improved marquee selection, and Tiny Planet. Create interesting spherical effects with 360 video. I've seen some of that stuff on some of the groups where, like Charles Renwood, he's done a few of those. I think you've done a few as well. I think, haven't you, Ian? The kind of I'm thinking of somebody else completely then, where it's like a 3D, it's like a Tiny Planet 360 spherical image. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Now, let's
do
do
them with
this.
video now.
Does
Yeah,
any
so-
of you have the update already downloaded?
I can't. Well, I can't. It's not in my app store just yet.
It's not showing up for me either.
It's not on
No,
mine
it'll take a little
either.
while.
So the guys on on our live stream there on the chat, I think they already have access and we don't. That's
Wow,
good.
typical. We blame
But
you
we're the
guys.
first. We are still the first live stream about it.
Yeah, and our thumbnail is accurate
If you can
right
get
now.
to the first 15 minutes of
Actually, if
terrible
you go,
audio.
If you go to the Final Cut Pro page on the App Store, it might say update.
Yeah, I have the page open.
No, not
already
yet.
here.
What version of High Sierra is it going to be? 10.3.6. I don't think I have 10.3.6 actually. Oh no, I do. Well, what's this update that's in my App Store for? Oh, it's a security update. Okay. Oops. Okay, I got to do that. Yeah, I've been holding off on Mojave for 10.5 or now 10.4.4.
Yeah.
Sam, did you see this batch share?
I did. I had a bit of a cheer there. I saw that. That's going to come in handy. Very handy indeed.
Well, that's good. So yeah, Chris was right. So we've got the stuff he spotted does seem to be there, which is great. Batch exporting, yay! Noise reduction, yay! Tiny Planet's cool. Like all 360 stuff that was in Final Cut was excellent, but Tiny Planet was not there. At least not easily. So Alex Gollner had put out an effect to make those, but I guess you don't need that one anymore.
Nope, it's in there now. Caption burning is good as well, because I know a lot of people have asked for that.
Have you guys seen this? All the color correction tools are now in motion.
Are they?
Wow. Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
I think Ian's gonna like that because I remember
you can check
you were
clips as
putting
well.
out your
That's
own
awesome.
color stuff.
Yeah.
You can do.
Having the color in motion is awesome. Because that's always been a limitation. Like all the curve stuff was awesome, but you couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And so now that you can, that's a big bonus. The
time
comparison.
Window, sorry, carry on.
Yeah.
I was just looking at I'm looking at the little things here for the timecode window. You can actually have timecode windows to see how long each roll runs for. So there's you could have like titles. It'll give you the runtime for the total titles you have on the timeline, which looks pretty cool. Project timecode, source timecode, improved marquees, video noise reduction. Man, this looks awesome.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can
New
actually
workflow
export clips from a timeline as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I just saw that as well.
That's-
Yeah.
yeah. Very nice.
And are you guys seeing the new workflow extension for Final Cut Pro 10 from Frame.io?
I haven't seen that yet. I'm about to
I mean, I'm looking at it here, and it seems like you can. Here it is, Frame.io, Final Cut editors, blah blah. They can track progress, review work in teams, blah blah blah. Final Cut means
It's
they're
taking
not
me
switching.
it's-
Our customers have come to blah, blah, blah. What is it? Upload your timeline
I
and
think
video clip
I
to Frame.io.
can
Share.
see.
No instantly that your client is reviewing your work within Final Cut. Okay, so now we have something very similar that they had for Premiere with the in-browser extension there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That you're going to be
Awesome.
able to know what's going on what's going on in Frame.io within Final Cut.
That's fantastic.
That's
Also,
awesome.
let me take a minute to say to Peter Wiggins and FCP.co what an amazing job
Yes.
he always does there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we have the live stream, but he was the one that actually put the news out first, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good work as always.
Absolutely is.
Absolutely.
And then we have I can see the Frame.io. Is that Frame.io extension? Yeah, I can have a look at this. There's a big image on FCP.co as well. Shows you the extension window. Oh yeah, there's a little puzzle icon next to the background render icon. The little circle on the tick. You can see the puzzle piece.
Oh,
I'm guessing that
a
means
little share.
extension.
A little share.
The guys in the chat.
It's-
the
it's-
guys
it's
in the
a-
chat. No, I was just going to say the guys in the chat are very quiet. I think they all
are
updated
updating,
the Final
yeah.
Cut and they're playing with it.
It's the,
So guys, Kripa, Yari, Da Snizvi, do you guys want to share something with us
that'd
there?
be great. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So can you drag clips from the timeline into Frame.io, I'm guessing, and upload them?
And I think you would be able to even do the other way around from Frame.io to Final Cut.
That'd be great.
also.
That's fantastic. That would be fantastic. And
it could pave some way of
Yeah.
a proxy workflow
I
in which
did
you are
just
uploading
see-
stuff to Frame.io and it's creating the proxies there for you.
that'd be great. Also, expect workflow extensions from Simon Says for speech to text translations, and Ripple Training for Final Cut Pro training.
Sorry, what?
So Ripple Training, I have a built-in Final Cut Pro training extension, which would be pretty damn useful.
Wow.
That is cool.
Okay. So
That makes me so
basically
happy for Mark and Steve.
Yeah.
So basically, you can open Final Cut for the first time and
Get
you
an
say, "Hey, Ripple Training,
That's
teach me
fantastic.
how to use it."
That is fantastic.
Wow. Okay, that's really something. For me, okay, that's 10.4.4, but in every way, in my opinion, that is a major update.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Tho-
Opening it up
those
like that,
features
that's a big step for Apple.
Oh yeah.
Those are not small features, though. That's
Yeah.
So
that's
that-
not
could
small
this-
stuff.
Yeah,
could this
that's
potentially
quite a bit.
Could this potentially open up for like Synergy, LumaForge extensions as well? Do you think, like, what's the kind of potential in terms of like having a shared network workflow with somebody
Keyflow
else's
Pro.
Keyflow Pro? Exactly. Like, there's one here for CatDV workflow. Being able to access and move and change assets within Final Cut Pro 10. So you can actually access a database within a database using an extension.
Ian, you got something on your mind.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious because I don't know any of these fine details yet at all, and so I'm really curious with the extension manager as to what kind of thing that's going to allow. Is it going to be a new way for third-party plugins to integrate? Is it more for third-party plugins that use web services? Is it going to be like something that competes with FX Factory to let you distribute plugins?
Or if FX Factory builds it itself into it via this extension.
Yeah. So I'm curious because a lot of the Final Cut extensions exist now, like the Cormel plugins, or like the Intelligence Assistance range of stuff. What is the benefit to them of being part of the Final Cut ecosystem? Do they gain a much bigger, approved first-party shop front and therefore a lot more audience, or do they lose out by having to give a cut to Apple? What's the decision here? And obviously, every storefront takes a cut, but that's the trade-off. You get a bigger audience, but you give the publisher a cut.
You didn't mention something
I'm
there.
curious to know about the details. Still,
Yeah.
I've made titles myself, which I'd consider thinking about selling this way. Who knows? And obviously, I work for a training organization as well. I'd love to see Mac Pro Video create a plugin.
That'd be great.
Congratulations, Mark and Steve. They're very nice guys, but they always get in first.
They do.
And it's
Very
always
sneaky.
frustrating. I mean, they
I'd love
wrote
to
the
see how
books.
that would work.
They wrote
It
the
looks-
Apple training manuals. It's fine. I get it, but always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
There was one thing which I wanted to kind of say. You brought you said like intelligence assistance. I would like to see how like producer's best friend or XSCC would work as an extension rather than you having to export an XML. You just go straight, click extensions, generate this spreadsheet from Final Cut. You haven't got to take it out of the app, open the app up separately.
Yeah, and there's certainly XML integration has become a lot better even in the last few releases of 10.4. So I think Scribe-O-Matic, anyone who's bought Cornell stuff going to get access to a Scribe-O-Matic public beta right now, so I can talk more a bit about that as well. And you can drag a project direct from the Final Cut window straight into the Scribe-O-Matic window and have transcribe. So that seems to be very similar kind of thing which they're talking about with the extension manager here as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a slightly more formalized version of that kind of XML exchange, because that's what's happening when you drag a project. It's making a quick XML in the background, sending that, and ditto when something gets dragged back in, it's re-importing XML. So yeah, just curious to see what they've done with that. If they fix some of the niggling bugs with XML export, specifically with titles, and again, just search out what Chris Hawkins found out about that stuff online.
Yeah, of course.
If you're
There may-
curious
there may,
about that.
there may be more in the patch notes, but I can't currently see Final Cut on the App Store just yet. The update.
I know a few people who are going to be really bummed that there's no dupe detection.
Oh yeah,
I can think of one person who's really going to be
Sean?
a bit upset. Maybe,
yeah.
just
Maybe
maybe.
just one
Yeah,
person.
a little bit.
So let's look at
Sorry.
Motion as well, because Motion has had a bit of is Motion a comic filter. It's a comic filter for Motion. Color correction updates. You mentioned that as well, Gabriel.
Well, I'll be using the comment filter on every project now.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Can we go point by point of the release there? What are the new features?
For Final
Who
Cut?
can who can take point there and just commenting about them?
I can list off what I've got here. So I've got the workflow extensions, which we were just talking about just then. Comparison viewer. Open the comparison viewer to reference other frames for consistent color grading across your project. Now,
That is huge
Yeah.
for me because
At the
otherwise,
minute-
That looks great. That looks great. And if you
Yeah.
have a look at the screenshot of that, which is presumably the Apple PR media
Yeah.
image, which they've got on
they've
fcp.co,
got
that looks really excellent. I know Chromatic implemented a frame store where you could copy a frame from a timeline and then do a live scrub backwards and forwards, but obviously you're limited with a plugin. And this is, because it's a first-party solution, it's like, well, here's scopes for each one. And you can also have a bank of stills, which you've liked. So it looks like a terrific implementation, which
Exactly.
is, you have to be the first party to do it. But yeah, go ahead, Gabe.
oh no, that's all.
I was going to say.
I've wanted that for 7 years,
Yeah,
or
me too.
some implementation of this, and I'm sure,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, the Apple way tends to be pretty, not every time, but generally it's pretty seamless and intuitive.
Okay, can you say that again? What this feature is actually doing? Because
Okay, well, if I'm color correcting, generally, okay, so when you start, you're editing a project, your first step is to match your shots so that they're self-consistent from within scenes,
Yeah.
this shot and the subsequent to the previous shot. Then you get into the color grade, that's a different animal. But if you're just trying to match your shots, how do you do that if you can't see the previous or the next shot? So this allows you to park a frame, and obviously I haven't been able to play with it yet, but you can see the shot
There
in
we go.
context.
It's in my App Store right now. Update. Actually, maybe I
Nice.
should copy Final Cut
Yeah.
before I do that. It's good. Remember
Yeah.
to a bit of a word of warning, people. Can you just compress the last version of Final Cut before you start
I would-
updating it?
Felipe has something to say about that.
yeah, so here is what happens. If you zip an application, an official Apple application, and if by any chance you format your computer or anything like that, or you transport it to another computer, that application, because it has been zipped, you have seen this before on the internet. When you download something from the internet, it's saying, oh, this developer, this zip is coming from this developer. If you do that, you are actually re-signing the application from Apple, and then once you try to unzip it later on,
Oh, I
it's
see.
going to show as broken.
Okay.
So
Would,
what I've been doing is just to drag the application to another volume.
Would like a backup,
without
a time
zipping.
machine backup work? Would that be?
I don't know.
'Cause I've got
I
a
usually have
carbon
a separate
copy.
hard drive. I definitely have a separate hard drive in which I just renamed the Final Cut, so I know which version it is.
Gotcha.
So I have there, and I can literally just launch the app, just drag it back to the applications folder. But nothing really guarantees, right? Nothing
Of
stops
course,
you
yeah.
from doing
To be
both of
honest-
them, to zip and to just save the actual application to another.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I think-
Okay,
I-
but, go on, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think most of the time we say zip it, but most people don't ever need it to unzip that zip that they did. You go back to the App Store and you re-download it and whatever, right?
Sure.
Once I tried to unzip it and it wasn't working. So
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, back to the comparison viewer. Ian, I know
Oh.
you do a lot of color work, and I know you've worked with CoreMelt. So what are you
Yeah.
thinking about this?
Yeah, look, it looks lovely. The old workflow, there used to be a few workflows you could use. Like even without any third-party plugins, you could park the playhead, the one playhead on top of one clip, then hover over something else and just press S repeatedly, backwards and forwards. Now that's okay, but it's not a split screen. So what Chromatic let you do was drag something backwards and forwards, so you could see, live which was which, and then that obviously did update the scopes, and that was nice. But
Yeah, that was kind of like the split screen control, right?
yeah, and you could completely change which one you were looking at. There was even like a 3-dot display with, you could do frame buffers for a third, for not just 2 clips, but more than 2. But it looks like what they've done is they're letting you store. Well, the screenshot's got 25 separate frames which you could populate from all over your project, or third-party source clips. If your client has said, sent you a shot, I really like the feel of this clip, you just store that in your frame buffer, so you know what you're trying to make it look like. If they've got a particular feel or
when my client sends me a frame from Minority Report and says, "Make my project look like this," I can load that up.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, that'll work every time. So this looks very nice.
It's currently it's quite a coincidence that the feature film that I'm currently still cutting is now going into the color grade. So this will come in very handy in color correction and color grading the film. So thank you, Apple. Perfect timing as always.
And I'm being able to download. So what I did here is I went to the Final Cut App Store. Yeah, I went to the Final Cut App Store, and I could see that was 10.4.4 from 18 hours ago. So it's been there for a little while. But it wasn't giving me the option to update. So I deleted my Final Cut from my applications, and now it's downloading the 10.4.4.
Nice technique. Well, yeah, I'm zipping my Final Cut Pro at the moment. I might copy it to another drive as well, just in case. And then I might try to do the same thing.
Because you have presentation tomorrow.
I kind of need it, yeah. That's always a little bit risky. I'm actually just pleased that I haven't upgraded anything which affects my presentations, which I know happened last year to some people.
Yes, of course.
But no, this is actually
it's a weird side note. I've just opened up a project and I forgot to copy over some files, and I know where they are. They've just gone offline, but they've updated the offline missing media file.
They did.
Icon.
Yeah.
So instead of that, cool. The kind of
it's not super red anymore.
Yeah, no, the skeuomorphic effect they had with the missing file thing. It's now what the missing LUT thing looks like. In fact, could I potentially share my screen with you guys?
Yes,
it might be a good thing to do.
I don't know what's going to happen.
My video coming on. Don't want that. How do I share screen on Skype? I don't know how to do it.
At the bottom right corner, there's 2 boxes.
Yeah. Share screen.
I think Sam is using his green mask for his face.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Let me see.
Oh, it's very clean and flat then. Okay.
You can see that there goes.
Unfortunately, I don't think I can bring that into the broadcast.
You're seeing Red Dead Redemption stuff as well. It's what the content we've been cutting for one of the channels. So, in fact,
it's a good game.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't see. We can actually. Hold on, Sam, hang on there. I'm gonna bring your screen into the live thing. So hold on. That would be screen capture.
I wonder if there's a way to actually. It did actually say. What's new in Final Cut Pro 10? Here we go. Complete feature list. Right, I'll go to the.
Oh, good. That's great to show. Yeah. Because it's still not on the App Store for me.
Oh, okay. I can't actually. It's gonna. If I flick to the other screen, because I've made this full screen. Tell you what, we'll do this. I'll just hide that. Here we go. So.
Okay, we're almost there, and I will share.
That was moved.
Okay.
Pre-roll. No, nothing's changed. here.
We could see his screen, but we couldn't hear what he was saying.
Oh,
so
okay.
let me try again.
Am I all good now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good now, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Test 1, test 2. There we go. And, okay, so nothing's changed in preferences. If I maybe jump down here, I wonder if it's going to be in... Oh, yeah, so project timecode, project properties. Okay, that's been there before. Or has it? Yes, it has, yes. I don't remember it being in the window pane. Project timecode looks like this now. So it's an actual... It's a bit like the one we had for, if I remember correctly, there's actual timecode display window from FX Factory.
Yeah.
So it looks fairly similar, but I think you can...
So
you
which
can make
one is
it
the one from Final Cut?
So the one here is the project name is from Final Cut. This one is actually from FX Factory, and you can actually change a lot more on this because it's a third-party thing. But I think for a built-in solution, it's not too bad. But for this, you can change the kind of percentage of the background. So imagine if you want to keep it like here whilst you're editing, and have to keep looking down. It's pretty useful.
Nice.
You can also get source time code as well. So how does this work? Because I did see. So if I go up to a piece of music here, so yeah, so basically what this is maybe not show the bit.
Every part of my being wants to read that as R2D2.
Yes, I have that mistake as well. So like we're seeing like the source time code for the music and source time code for the actual clip in the timeline as well as seeing the actual project time code. Yeah. So you can actually see there.
Well, I actually have a project that is already ready to be used on to test the noise reduction. So I'm
let's do that. Yeah, right now. Give that a quick go, and I'll quickly see if there's something else.
I have the
viewer?
impression that you're gonna be able, once you're playing back, it's gonna stop doing the noise reduction and give you proper playback.
That's the
speed.
Yes.
Okay, so it literally shows you the clip before it. So this is the
comparison viewer.
Clip. Yes, this is the comparison viewer. Let me just...
Nice. Okay, hold on.
It literally shows the start or the end. It shows you the end, a frame at the end of the
How did you get to that?
It's in window. It's under view, showing viewer. Where is it? Is this showing viewer, isn't it? Oh no. Where is it? Was it window? Showing workspace. Sorry, showing workspace comparison viewer.
Workspace comparison viewer.
Yeah,
that's gonna need a keyboard shortcut real quick.
Yes, can you set a keyboard shortcut for comparison viewer?
Well, time to search.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You go to comparison viewer or show high comparison viewer, so you can have that as
That'll be the one.
Yeah, you can set a keyboard shortcut for that. I don't know what that's going to be. Switch focus between comparison viewer and active viewer. Oh, okay. So okay. It says switch between the viewer and the comparison viewer. The active viewer is output to external devices. So I'm guessing if you have an external display, you can switch between the comparison and your main viewer. I'm guessing so. The one on the left is the comparison. The one on the right is the main viewer. So you can have an external display and switch between which one you're looking at, which could be useful.
Yeah, it's interesting they haven't really put any shortcuts on those. So it's being put in as here's a nice advanced features for pro users, but you really need to assign shortcuts to those.
Yeah.
Especially the switch focus button. That's interesting. I'm very glad to see the ability to add shortcuts. So it's good.
There's a thing on the captions here. It says extract captions. Which is quite interesting. That wasn't there before, was it?
I don't know.
No, I think that'll probably mean burning the captions, effectively turning captions into titles.
I see. That's probably what it was. Should we just quickly do a quick little?
Yeah, I like the possibility of going from captions to titles, because that's, at least in my case, a workflow that I've needed several times.
Mm-hmm.
And I will need to change the battery of my receiver.
That's not good. I'm doing a quick test caption.
Let's do this. What do you guys think about us finishing with this video now?
Yeah.
And we all go play with Final Cut, and maybe either later today or tomorrow we can get together and talk more a little bit of what we found and things like that.
I will be gone on a shoot all day tomorrow, but I'm around all day today.
There is an email.
So later today. later today we definitely can connect and talk
There is an
more
email.
about
Yeah,
There is,
100%.
before, I might have to kind of just declare something quickly. New version of Final Cut, but don't update. If you're on Color Finale, don't update. They're testing a new update, and it should have an update within a week or so to ensure compatibility. So, in case any of you guys are using Color Finale watching, don't update just yet.
No, not at all.
If you have updated, use the main color tools until there's an update for Color Finale. I'd recommend, but that's just one thing that came through.
Thanks for that.
Thanks
for that, because I think
I got that
publishing,
email.
publishing 23 minutes after the update went live. Not exactly a good thing there, but anyway, let's try to just quickly check this. Captions. No, you can't. That's not a extract caption. Unless that is extracting captions that are like a CRT file, a CRT captions already in the file. Is that extract captions?
Maybe just make some captions and then select them, and you should be able to extract them.
I've got one here.
Yes.
I've got one
Oh, just
selected.
a different. Sorry, I can see that under the
All right,
menu
cool.
there. Okay.
Yeah, edit caption, extract captions. I wonder what that means. Okay, tell you what.
Oh, okay. Well, in
try
that
to
case,
select the role. Try to select
maybe
the role.
maybe it's reading a video which has built-in captions already. So if you download
Oh.
a video
Just
with
that- I've
built-in
just-
captions, this is actually extracting them into the Final Cut timeline.
No, you said before actually sounds like this. Because it says here, extract captions from the selected clip and connect them to the clip. That's what it says.
Yeah, so it's captions built into a clip then.
Yeah, so
Uh,
like CRT, so like iTunes, like iTunes captions, for example. That probably would be what
It could be, yeah, iTunes captions are built into an H.264. I would be surprised, but pleased if it could read an SRT sidecar file. But see,
Yeah, that'd be interesting to do. And then I can't see the extensions on here, but I wonder if that's what's going to come
Well,
tomorrow.
there
with
is the
Frame.io.
Final Cut extension is already out from Frame.io. So
It
if
is.
you go to frame.io/FCPX, you're gonna be able to download the brand new extension there. So I am looking forward to test that right now. So let's do this. Let's say goodbye to everyone.
Wrap it up here.
And then we're going to
Fair
come
enough.
back with more findings.
Absolutely.
So thank you again, Sam, for participating.
No worries.
Thank you, Ian.
thanks very much. If I have a chance, and if the Wi-Fi in the hotel lobby has improved from last year, then I will try to join in from a bar or something if I can.
We'll
But
send
we'll
you
see.
both links when we're ready, so you know.
Yes, that's great.
And
Sure.
of course, thank you, Gabriel, for always being here.
Felipe, all I did
You're-
was talk.
you're
You
the
did
main
all
guy.
of the live streaming stuff.
Well, yeah.
Yes, thank you
Well,
guys for having
I'm-
me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, so you guys understand what's going on here. I'm live technical directing here. I'm doing all the camera changes manually. So if they're not in the right timing, etc., it's my fault. But I'm also talking and checking things on a second computer at the same time. So you might understand that these things can be a bit crazy. But any last words from anyone, Gabriel?
No, I still haven't seen the app on my app store, so I'm going to be reading all these articles and learning up about it. It's learning
Yeah.
up is a thing, and then
Well,
hopefully have more to contribute when we jump back in later.
Yeah, I can confirm that if you move your application to another drive, eject that drive, delete it from your applications folder, then re-download it, you will get the new version. That's what I'm doing now, but it's going to take a while over this hotel Wi-Fi.
Over what's it called? I've completely forgot what they used to call the internet back in the day. The connection. It's just escaped my mind.
Dial up.
That's the one. I completely. it was
It's
in my
not
head.
pretty.
As soon as I open my mouth, it disappears. But I will go say, don't update if you're in the middle of projects, guys. If you're in the middle of stuff, at the minute I'm not in the middle of anything kind of too major to kind of not update, so I've gone for it. But yeah.
No,
be
that's
ready
good.
for updates. It is a dots update. It's not like it's not a point. It's not a major point update.
But there are some pretty major useful
exactly,
features in
yeah.
here.
So yeah,
for me,
so just
anyway.
take it. Just
It's somewhere
take it with
it's somewhere in between. Yeah,
you
I
will
think
have
it's-
to. You also have to update your libraries for this update as well.
Well, yeah, I think that's because I would think the foundation, the architecture would have to change to allow for all those third-party extensions.
Yeah,
At least for the extensions, yeah.
yeah. So
It feels
just bear
like
that
it's
in
slightly
mind.
more significant than 10.4.2 was. So
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Bear that in
yeah.
mind, and just take that with a grain of salt. And yeah,
cool.
Okay.
cool.
Oh, and sorry, very briefly before we sign off, I just had a text Roger from Coremelt saying that Scribomatic.com will be live later today for anybody to sign up. So if you wanted to check that out, that'll
There you
be
go, another announcement.
free trial.
Very cool.
So there you go.
There we go.
Awesome.
All right.
Another announcement. I mean, we can never get enough of options for these technologies that
Exactly.
use AI and stuff for language recognition. I definitely, for example, we are all English speakers here. English is my second language and it's the first language for you guys. But for example, there are so many other countries in the world that speak so many other different languages, and this type of options for other languages is extremely useful as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it. Thank you everyone that participated in this live broadcast, and
No worries.
We'll be
see
back.
you guys in the next one. We're gonna be back soon.
See ya.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.